Hi, I'm Lester. I'm 23 this year and I'm currently a student studying product design. Um, well, I cosplay like here and there. I'm mostly a prop maker. Like I make things, costumes, weapons, guns, those kind of things.
Well, I've been in cosplay for almost a decade now. It's a great hobby. One of the main reasons I decided to get into the cosplay hobby was because I believe that it's a great tool for transformation. It's a great tool for encouraging people to develop greater self confidence, develop some interpersonal and social skills, develop their crafting skills as well. And that's really applicable because, as an artist, as a creator, um, those skills do come in handy. It wasn't quite called cosplay back then because cosplay as a phrase was created by a magazine editor who actually visited America in the 80s. Yeah, so he went back to Japan and he decided to create this amalgamation of the words, costuming and role playing. And he called it cosplay.
As a kid, like you see all these shows and games where they have all these cool characters with nice equipment, weapons and stuff. So I like kind of wanted to create that in real life, like act it out. Roughly secondary one also, where you get to like in the bookshop. There's these various Vanguard sheets and stuff, so you can make things out of that.
Primarily, in cosplay, there are two branches which you can look at. One of them is, say, face value cosplay. Basically, they do more focus on the makeup, on looking pretty, on creating that kind of image where they look as close to the character from the 2D image as possible. Or there's also another push which is for the crafting culture, where the people who not only cosplay are also craftspeople. They make their own costumes, they make their own props. Usually, it's more elaborated costumes, like armor suits, monster costumes, stuff like that. Some of them are tailors; they make their own gowns.
A lot of it's in the planning stage. You really have to plan out everything from what materials you want to make your costume to, because if you're making a costume for a display and if you're making a costume for a stage fight, there are a lot of things you have to compromise on. What makes a good cosplay, I believe, is accuracy, and not just accuracy, but you have to be able to translate the cosplay from something that is essentially not real. If you're working in, let's say, a game, you have to be able to work with details that are possible in game, like let's say you have floating objects around you. How do you translate that to real life?
As a product design student, many of these techniques are actually quite applicable to my field, which is like sort of blueprinting things, doing schematics of items, and working with the materials and techniques. So all these can also be applied to products and designing them.
One thing I usually tell younger cosplayers is that, hey, if you admire a certain character for, say, his bravery, take upon yourself those traits and use it as a guideline, for leading a better life, for improving yourself, and for doing good. Yeah, it's definitely more than just dressing up. It's also about self-improvement. It's always about the transformative process.
Yeah, okay, it's very nice that you see someone transform. So because it's like every time you go to an event, you see someone look so pretty. Then suddenly when they take their makeup off, they actually is this very normal person. But that's the beauty about cosplay. You see someone that has been, you thought that they look so normal, but somehow when they cosplay, they dress up, they show off their work and stuff. It makes it look very unique about it. That's the beauty about transform into someone that is really not you and stuff.
Advice, I think you need a passion first. You wanna like make stuff, make your own things.
It's usually the same thing I usually tell novices is that, hey, be daring enough to try. Yeah, because ultimately let the skills that they have acquired, let their craftsmanship be the, I guess, the framework by which they are judged. Not their first attempt, because let's face it, nobody has a good first attempt. There's always room for improvement. Even for myself right now, I always tell myself, hey, there's always room for improvement. And the minute I stop improving is the day I decide to, hang up my costumes and stop cosplaying.